Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. Dritte Session des German Darts Grand Prix 2018. Und wir starten mit einem jungen Mann aus England. 23 Jahre ist er alt, hat ein tolles Jahr 2017 auf der Development Tour hingelegt, hat 5 Turniere gewonnen, hat sich am Ende als Nummer 1 für 2 Jahre die Tourcard gesichert und gestern sein erstes Match auf der Bühne für sich entscheiden können. Die Rede ist von Cool Hand Luke Humphries. Cool Hand Luke tritt an gegen die aktuelle Nummer 11 der Welt, der UK Open Finalist von 2017. Er spielt aktuell seine allererste Premier League Saison. Ladies and Gentlemen, aus Wales, the Iceman, Prix. An Turniertag Nummer 2 geht die Distanz Best of 11 Legs. Man braucht 6 Legs, um in das Achtelfinale einzuziehen. Und der Caller dieser ersten Partie ist der Calculator, Kirk Bevins.
Well, welcome to the second day of action here at the German Darts Grand Prix in Munich, where the seeded players come into the fray. We'll see the likes of Michael van Gerwen, Peter Wright, the world champion Rob Cross this evening. The biggest shock of day one was the very last game of yesterday evening when the two-time world champion Adrian Lewis was dumped out by Jordi May-Wissa, who managed to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. So no Adrian Lewis today, but plenty of top stars, some of them coming up this afternoon. Premier League players like the man you are looking at right now, Gerwyn Price, although he's only got 1 week left in the Premier League, for this year at least anyway. Gerwyn Price taking on Luke Humphries, a man who enjoyed his first ever win on a stage yesterday when he was very impressive in his victory against Willie O'Connor. That's the first match before we see Dave Chisnell take on Darren Webster, Kim Huybrechts against Steve West, Mervyn King versus Germany's Max Hopp, who will have the support of a 3,000 strong crowd here today. Then the likes of Kyle Anderson.
First leg is Luke to throw first. Game on!
His Australian rival Simon Whitlock, Alan Norris and Super Chin Daryl Gurney, the World Grand Prix champion, all in action this afternoon. And what an afternoon it's going to be. I'm Chris Murphy, and joining me for all of it is Dan Dawson.
Yeah, happy Easter. What a start to the afternoon session we've had with Luke Humphries picking up exactly where he left off against Willie O'Connor. Yesterday, got things underway with a 6-2 win, a 95 average. And
96.
Very, very impressive for a man who's got very little stage experience. But I tell you what, this afternoon, this afternoon alone, not even getting into the evening session, where we've got some of the biggest names in the world. This afternoon we've got 5 former winners on the Euro Tour and some of the biggest 180 hitters in the world.
96.
Arguably the 2 biggest in Dave Chisnell and Daryl Gurney. You've also got the likes of Kim Huybrechts, Kyle Anderson, the Wizard Simon Whitlock, Mervyn King. I mean, you could see dozens and dozens of 180s just in this afternoon session.
97.
Yeah, with the list of names you've just reeled off there, you could be forgiven for thinking it was the final day. Of course, we will run through to Easter Monday this weekend when the tournament concludes. Luke Humphries kicked off this match with a maximum, his 5th of the weekend, having fired in 4 in his win against Willie O'Connor 24 hours ago. And he's off to a good start against, well, it's an interesting complexion for Gerwyn Price, because he's a man that is kind of sick of playing darts at the moment, self-admittedly.
100.
Yeah, he said, you know, compare and contrast his social media output over, you know, the last couple of weeks with 2 months ago when he was raring to go and playing his debut Premier League campaign. Whereas now he says at times he doesn't care whether he wins or loses, he just wants a bit of time away. I mean, he left until the very last minute to get out here this weekend because he wanted to spend a bit of time back home.
He travelled this morning, didn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
137.
Which isn't ideal, although yesterday, because of all the travel problems around Stansted Airport, we saw 4 players having to get various planes, trains and automobiles to get here. 3 of them won their games anyway. The only one who didn't was Adrian Lewis, who missed 4 match darts.
Yeah, and as he departed the building, he just kind of, what a weekend that was.
Yeah.
58.
Luke Humphries bossing the opening stages of this one. He just looks at home on the stage, doesn't he?
Well,
171.
made his stage debut at the World Championship. It looked like a duck out of water, didn't he, Luke Humphries, against Jeff Smith in that one.
95.
He played at the UK Open, of course, but didn't make it to the stage. But then last weekend he lost out to Darren Johnson, but he acquitted himself fairly well in that match.
Well, Darren Johnson averaged 103 against him. Not a great deal that he could do against it.
Exactly, but he was he bossed it, didn't he, against Willie O'Connor yesterday, carrying on in similar vein here.
And we came over to the venue early this morning, and I think Luke's quite friendly with Keegan Brown, and they'd spent the afternoon having a look around Munich. Apparently he's not been very well, Luke Humphries, but evidently he's not causing many problems here.
140.
Yeah, well, I don't see him at full fitness, if that's the case. The man
140.
who hasn't been well, actually, is Simon Whitlock for a couple of weeks now. The man who's facing Keegan Brown. Just seen him in the practice room, and he's full of cold and flu. Who's been saying that in the Premier League and averaging over 100 against the best players in the world. Whitlock and the number 3 seed here,
95.
Michael Smith, along with Gerwyn Price, were the favourites to be eliminated from the Premier League. Well, not the case for Smith or Whitlock, is it? Luke Humphries is playing like the premier player in this match.
15 darter, 13 darter, 12 darter. Luke Humphries is on fire to start day 2 of the German Darts Grand Prix.
Well, I haven't seen how the odds compilers called this.
81.
You assume that Gerwyn Price would have been a strong favourite for the match with them. Now, if you look at the Dart Connect system and measure all the statistics and you compare the players across the Players' Championship events, there's nothing in it in terms of the performance. Their average is half a point different.
Mid-90s, aren't they? But 94 plays 94.5. Gerwyn Price has a slightly better average. It's over a similar number of games.
57.
Gerwyn does have a good run in there. He made a semi-final of the first Players' Championship. Only lost to Michael van Gerwen. And that's the thing with Gerwyn Price. It's not as if he's been playing horrifically all year. He played brilliant stuff at the UK Open at times. He had that run on the Players' Championship. It's just over the last few weeks, you just feel that his confidence has just been ebbing away.
Yeah, he just hasn't taken to the Premier League. And I mean, in amongst it all, he had that run to the UK Open quarterfinals, didn't he? He lost out to Corey Cadby there. But he goes 16s.
Yeah, Gerwyn Price will do everything within his power to leave double top. Leaves it more than any other player in the PDC. It's the first time that Luke Humphries has had an off leg. Double top. Loves it up here.
Shot on the 4th leg. Gerwyn Price. His leg is Luke to throw first. Game on.
He almost fired in 3 double tops on Thursday night in the Premier League for a 120 finish.
100
and there's 3 treble tops. Or treble 20s.
Yeah, I think you're just making terms up now.
96.
Single top.
140.
Great response from Luke Humphries after having a poor leg.
137.
Fire back, and look, the way he started this game, it might be too much of a mountain for Gerwyn Price to climb right now.
96.
Winner of this one will face either Johnny Clayton, the Ferret, could be an all-Welsh encounter, not looking likely at the minute, or Rob Cross, the world champion. Well, declined the 20 and bullseye route. Gerwyn Price is on a finish. Just alongside.
95.
Bold, confident, arrogant. What was that decision from Luke Humphries?
Well,
On the 5th leg.
it worked out in the end, and I'm going to suggest that playing a man who is suffering a crisis of confidence at the moment.
97.
It might have been the right sort of player to do it against right now.
Well, that is a bold move when you've only just stepped up from the development tour. You're taking on a Premier League player, former major finalist, top 16 player in the world, a seeded player here. A man who, let's be honest, over the last year or two, there have been weekends on the Euro Tour where Gerwyn Price has looked very, very likely to go on and become the champion. It's taken something very special to stop him from somebody usually like Peter Wright or MVG.
It's a percentage shot, isn't it? There are those that come from the school that you should always go for the ball if your opponent's on any finish, and there will be those players who think, well, what's the chance percentage-wise? How many times I do that? Are they like to take it out? And it's very small. And we have seen players
have been caught out.
Get caught out by that. We've also seen players get caught out when they've gone for the ball when they don't need
99.
Seen players get caught out in World Championship finals. Laying up.
One interesting note, Michael van Gerwen, who we'll see later tonight, he seems to have started just
going for it anyway.
Gerwyn Price is going for this. Not on anymore.
79.
And Luke Humphries has a chance to break here for a 5-1 lead. Has to be hit.
And it isn't hit, and this might be a very solid nail in Gerwyn Price's coffin, because that's a 16 darter. It's another break of throw, and quite frankly, Luke Humphries is wiping the floor with the Welsh number 1.
140.
Gerwyn Price and double top, it's a bit like the old Robert Thornton factor, isn't it? If he's not hitting double top, he's not got much chance of winning.
Well, 100. If he's constantly leaving it every leg and he's not hitting it, then he has got problems. He is pretty good on double 10 and double 12 as well, but he, as I say, he always leaves tops, and he is one of the best tops hitters in the world. But you need to be if you're leaving it every leg.
We mentioned before that the standard of play that they've been playing over the Players' Championship season this year. Luke Humphries has raised his game, and Gerwyn Price's request for this one, and that is showing in the averages, in the statistics, in the scoreline, and in about 30 seconds time in the fact that Luke Humphries will be through to the final day.
Didn't even take 30 seconds, did it? Luke Humphries continues to impress. A 12 darter to complete a 6-1 win against Premier League star Gerwyn Price. And for a man who came here to Munich this weekend, having never won on a stage, Luke Humphries is averaging around about 97, 98 for the tournament. And he could be very, very dangerous in the final day of the German Darts Grand Prix. He'll play either Johnny Clayton the Ferret or Voltage Rob Cross, the world champion, in the last 16 tomorrow afternoon. That is one game done and dusted, one seeded player knocked out. We will see if Dave Chisnell, the number 9 seed, can make it through his opening game of the weekend. He's up against the demolition man Darren Webster in just a few moments' time.
Das muss alles seine Richtigkeit haben, Luke. Vorher verabschieden Sie auch nicht die Offiziellen. Congratulations! Second win on stage in a row.
Well, as long as I'm talking to you, I know I'm doing well. You know, yeah, that's possibly one of the biggest wins of my career so far, you know. Gerwyn is a fantastic player. Obviously, he is struggling a bit at the moment, but he's a lovely guy, and I know he'll be back. You know what I mean? Once the Premier League finished, he'll be back to his best, I know that, so all credit to Gerwyn, but I'm very happy with that performance. I think I played very well there. Yeah.
Ich möchte das gerne übersetzen, weil er sagt, das war wahrscheinlich sein größter Sieg bislang in seiner noch jungen Karriere. Dieser Erfolg gegen die Nummer 11 der Welt, Gerwyn Price. Is it special, is it different to play a guy out of the top 16?
Yeah, I think that's the highest seed I've beaten so far. The good thing is, I feel so comfortable up here. You know, in the practice room, I'm throwing a good on here, I'm throwing better, you know, and that's a good thing to have, obviously. I'd rather play better up here than I am on the floor on the Pro Tour, because on the Pro Tour it hasn't been as good, but up here I'm playing really well, and I feel dangerous, I'm confident, and yeah, and obviously every sponsor here, they've helped me through some good times and some tough times, so I appreciate every single one of them. And
good to see you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Luke Humphries. Fühlt sich so pudelwohl hier oben auf der Bühne. Kann's